To this now, the deal between Twitter and Elon Musk has now been sealed. The social media giant has confirmed the sale of the company to South African-born billionaire Elon Musk for about $44 billion.
Yeah, so Musk has been negotiating for weeks to buy Twitter in his personal capacity. In fact, in a statement on his Twitter account, the world's richest man says, quote, "Free speech is a bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated." So let's unpack this move now. We're joined by senior digital reporter Faisal Patel via our video link this morning. Faisal, good morning. Completely unsolicited takeover of Twitter. What do you make of it?
Good morning, Michelle, and good morning to the viewers. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a surprise completely. There was some, opposition to it, but eventually they have relinquished. They actually called it a poison ivy at first. Poison ivy in a sense being that they want to oppose Musk's buyout completely. But remember that he was already a shareholder investing $2.9 billion already in the company. So he was a majority shareholder in the company, and now he completely owns it. There are good and bad, according to some people, features related to this particular buyout.
Yeah. 16-year-old social media platform. It's not a bad deal, particularly when we look at the financial reports of Twitter, which had not been on the up and up.
No, absolutely not. And this is not going to be good for them anyway, because I just want to go into how much it actually cost him. So a lot of people are saying 44 billion. It's actually 46.5 billion. And that is going to be funded through two ways. One is 25.5 billion, which is going to be taken through loans. And that loan is going to be from Morgan Stanley Senior Funding. So that's 25.5 billion. And then $21 billion will be from Musk's own money himself, his own equity. There's no other equity partners listed on there. But to service these loans is going to cost Twitter a lot of money on itself. So that's going to dig a lot into their revenue. And obviously Elon Musk has some plans for Twitter where he wants to cancel advertising on the blue Twitter. So that will affect their revenue as well.
He's got an incredible following on Twitter, doesn't he? I'm looking at his page now, 84.5 million followers on a platform with 300 million people are part of. He tweets at all hours of the night, sometimes incredibly cryptic, sometimes incredibly disturbing, irate, and the list of descriptors goes on and on. He's an interesting candidate for this kind of takeover.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Twitter for everybody, especially for us in the news field, is one of the platforms to make breaking stories, to share breaking stories and news. And, Elon's had been at the forefront, as you mentioned, with 84 million, followers on Twitter. One of the things he's been very controversial about is with regards to the Bitcoin. Whenever he says something about Bitcoin, it either dips or it goes up. Just this week, or I think last week, he actually put up a picture of Bill Gates, a young Bill Gates and an older Bill Gates, and I think he actually got into trouble for that, I think Twitter actually deleted that particular tweet. I'm not sure exactly. But, he's been very outspoken on Twitter, and he's, as you mentioned, free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and he's been very vocal about that on the social media platform.
There's been a lot of people from all quarters of society. Some have lauded and applauded in the build-up to this takeover, saying that they hope it's successful. Others have said for various reasons that they hope his bid is unsuccessful. He's already outlined his own plan for what he wishes Twitter to be, the bedrock of democracy, as we've just read from his Twitter page here. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. Twitter is the digital town square. That's the tweet at the top of his page at the moment. But in terms of what practically you reckon things might change in terms of his takeover, will Donald Trump's lifetime ban be lifted? Will there be an edit function on tweets?
Look, he says he's got a lot of plans for Twitter because he sort of advocates for free speech. one of the things that came out yesterday was that the Republicans actually welcomed Musk's buyout of Twitter, and they are hoping that Donald Trump's ban on Twitter will be lifted. So obviously that's one of the things he is considering. He's also considering the edit function. As you rightly mentioned, I seen a tweet by Heidi Jokos this morning saying, bring us the edit button, and that will obviously be good in a sense as well. So a lot of people looking forward to that. Also, you'll notice, and Bloomberg reported this morning, that all product development on Twitter, it means to enhance features, to make it better, has been halted until the buyout is done. And that will only be later this year. We're looking at around either September or October. So if there is any product enhancements, currently it will have to go through the vice president. But at the moment, all product development is halted. Another thing that the CEO, the current CEO of Twitter, his name is Parag Agrawal, he said that, and he gave assurances to employees that their jobs won't be lost and they're quite secure at the moment. And the reason for this is that because they, like you mentioned, a lot of people are critical of this buyout, and most of them, or some of them, have been Twitter employees. Why they're scared is because, remember when Tesla was just formed, initially Elon Musk couldn't deliver on the orders of the Tesla cars, and he got a lot of criticism on the Tesla blog, and he actually shut that blog down to avoid criticism. So they're hoping that he doesn't make a dramatic change to the platform, which will stifle, the reach that it has within the neighborhood community, something that the former CEO of Twitter actually said this morning in a tweet as well. That's Jack Dorsey, that, Twitter has been one of the main platforms to reach out to various communities.
Yeah, absolutely. So a wait-and-see approach, I suppose. Senior digital reporter Faisal Patel, thanks so much for coming on, giving us a sense of some of the other big issues. The deal between Twitter and Elon Musk, sealed $46.5 billion US.